Good afternoon, everyone. Last session, we discussed first application development using Angular. Angular first application development. Angular first app development. The last session happened on Friday. Friday, which is on 4th June. Last session we had on 4th June. Okay. Now, so last 3 days, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, classes was not there. Right now, today's session we are going to talk about Angular application folder structure. Angular application folder structure. What are the folders and files are available when we create a Angular application, and what is the purpose of that we are going to discuss. And guys, remember, every session is uploaded to YouTube channel till today, till last session. Now this video also will be uploaded, so you can watch that video later point of time. Good. So uh, please revise what we discussed in the last session. How to create Angular application. To create, to develop Angular applications, to develop Angular applications, we are using VS Code IDE, Visio, Visual Studio Code IDE we are using, which is given by Microsoft. ng new app name, ng new app name, which is used to create the Angular application. ng new app name, which is used to create the Angular application. Next one, ng serve command, which is used to run the Angular application. Then http colon double slash localhost colon 4200 slash, that is used to access our Angular applications. In the Visual Studio Code IDE, we have a terminal. In that terminal, we are executing a command called ng new app name, which is used to create the Angular applications. Once Angular application got created, we can run that Angular application in the server. Angular applications are going to deploy to live servers. Live server is going to run on port number 4200. Okay, how to deploy Angular application to live server? By using ng serve command. By using ng serve command. Let me open VS Code IDE. Let me show you the Angular project structure. Okay, now today we are going to understand the folder structure of Angular applications. Folder structure of Angular application. Good. Angular application folder structure. So in the Angular application, first we need to talk about a file called package.json. Whenever you create an Angular application, in that package.json file will be available. We need to understand what is that package.json. First, let us see here. IDE is opened. IDE is opened. We created two applications in the Friday class. App 1 and welcome app we created. We will explore the project folder structure. Yes. Go to workspace folder. Here, two applications we created using Angular. First one is app 1 and the second one is welcome. App 1 and welcome, two projects we have created. Now let me go to app 1. So this is app 1. This is app 1. See here the files which are selected up to here, app 1. App 1, inside this node modules folder is available, src folder, browser list src, editor config, git ignore, angular json, karma config, package log.json, package json, readme, ts config app.json, ts config.json, ts config spec.json. Like that, several files are available. Out of this, first we need to talk about a file called package.json. Now let us see here package.json. This is structure of the Angular project package.json file. Angular package.json file is used to represents metadata of the application. The package.json file represents the configuration settings or metadata of the application. Now, in the Java applications, we will have a pom.xml. Can anyone tell me what is the purpose of a pom.xml in the Java? Guys, could you please tell me what is the purpose of a pom.xml in the Java? Pom.xml is used to configure dependencies of the application. Suppose if I want to use a Spring, we'll configure Spring dependencies. We'll configure a Hibernate dependencies in the pom.xml file. Similarly, in the Angular, we have dependencies. Here, if you see Angular animations, Angular common dependency, Angular compiler, Angular core dependency, Angular forms dependency, Angular platform browser, platform dynamic, Angular router, RxJS, TSLib, Zone.js. Like that, there are several dependencies are available in the Angular application. Those dependencies we are going to configure in package.json file, name of the dependency and version of the dependency. So dependencies required for Angular application will be configured inside package.json file. Are you able to follow this? Are you able to follow this? What is the purpose of package.json? Package.json file is used to configure dependencies required for Angular application. Package.json file, package.json, package.json. Package.json file represents the configuration settings or metadata of the application. This file, the package.json file represents the configuration settings, metadata of the application, metadata of the application. Okay, now it specifies package name, version and dependencies, etc. Up, angular application Angular application dependencies will be configured in package.json file. Angular application dependencies will be configured in angular.json file. It is fixed file name. It should be in the Angular application. Without JSON file, application is not accepted. Can we create a Maven application without pom.xml? No. Similarly, Angular application cannot be created without package.json. Without package.json. Right. Here, there are two types of dependencies are available. One is normal dependencies. Second one is dev dependencies. Guys, here dependencies are available. Dev dependencies are available. What is the difference between dependencies and dev dependencies? In order to develop the application, these dependencies are required. It will provide Angular compiler, Angular build dev kit, Angular CLI. These packages are required to develop the application, and these packages are required to run the application. Dev dependencies, this file contains dependencies and dev dependencies. Dependencies are required for running the application. Dev dependencies are required for developing the application, like our JDK and JRE. JDK is used to, yeah, excellent. Lata, you are good. JRE and JDK. JDK is used for developing the project. JRE is used for running the project. Similarly, dev dependencies are used for developing the Angular application. Dependencies are used to run the Angular application. Are you guys clear with this one? In the package.json file, in package.json file, we will have we will have dependencies and dev dependencies. We'll have dependencies and dev dependencies. Dev dependencies are used for Dev dependencies are used for developing Angular application. Dev dependencies are used for developing Angular application, and dependencies are used for running the Angular application. Okay, dependencies are used for running the Angular application. Dev dependencies are used for developing the application. Dependencies are used for Angular application. Sample packages, Angular packages. Angular having several packages. Angular is having several packages. One is Angular core package is available. So if you want to develop any Angular application, Angular core package we are going to use. Angular common package will be available. Angular common package is available. Angular compiler package is available. Angular compiler package is available. Now, Angular platform browser package is available. Angular platform browser platform browser dynamic, platform browser, platform browser dynamic package is also available. Platform browser dynamic package is available. Dynamic Angular forms package available. If you want to develop a form based application, we need to use Angular forms package. And Angular router package is available. If you want to implement routings, you need to use a router package. If you want to develop HTTP clients, if you want to access a REST API, then Angular HTTP package is available. Angular material package is available. Angular material package is available. Angular material package is available. Angular CLI package is available. Angular CLI package is available. Like that, there are several packages are available in the Angular. So if you want to use these packages, we need to configure them in the package.json file. In the package.json file, we will have two types of dependencies. One is a dev dependency, another one is normal dependencies. Dev dependencies are used to run the Angular application. Dev dependencies are used for developing the Angular application. Dependencies are used to run the Angular application. Are you guys able to understand what is package.json file in the Angular? Package.json file represents the configuration settings and metadata required for the application. Angular application dependencies will be configured in a package.json file. In package.json file, we will have dependencies and dev dependencies. Dev dependencies are used for developing Angular application and dependencies are used for running the Angular application. Angular packages, Angular core, Angular common, Angular compiler, platform browser, browser dynamic, forms, router, HTTP, material, and CLI. Like this, these are the packages that are there in the Angular application. Packages that are there in the Angular application. Are you guys clear with this? What is package.json? Are you guys clear with what is package.json, guys? Please confirm. It is used to configure dependencies required for the application. Dev dependencies are used for developing the application. Dependencies are used for running the application. There are several Angular dependencies are there. Angular core, common, compiler, platform browser, browser dynamic, forms, router, HTTP, material, CLI. Like that, there are several packages are available in the Angular. Based on the requirement, we are going to use those packages. Based on the requirement, we are going to use those packages. Right, good. Next one, tsconfig.json. If you see our project, there is a one more file called tsconfig.json. tsconfig.json. This file is used to set configuration settings for Typescript compiler. So Angular is a framework which is developed by using Typescript. Angular is a framework which is developed by using Typescript. Any packages which are required in the Angular application, we are going to configure in the package.json. So if you write the TypeScript classes, TypeScript classes should be compiled into JavaScript, right? Now, so to set the configuration settings for the TypeScript, we are having a file called tsconfig.json. There is another file called tsconfig.json file, which is used to write the configuration settings for TypeScript compiler. tsconfig.json file. What is the purpose of tsconfig.json? What is the purpose of tsconfig.json? Let's try to understand what we will do here. This file is used to set configuration settings for TypeScript compiler. tsconfig.json file is used to set configuration settings for TypeScript compiler. tsconfig.json file is used to set configuration settings for TypeScript compiler. TypeScript compiler automatically reads tsconfig.json and then it compiles .ts files into .js files. TypeScript compiler TypeScript compiler will TypeScript compiler will read tsconfig.json file config.json file and then it compiles all .ts files into .js files. That is called transpilation. We already discussed what is a transpilation in the TypeScript. TypeScript is superset of JavaScript, but TypeScript files cannot be executed in the browser directly. TypeScript files should be converted to JavaScript. Who will do that? TypeScript compiler is going to convert the TypeScript files into JavaScript files. tsconfig JSON file is used to set configuration settings for TypeScript compiler. The TypeScript compiler will read the tsconfig.file and tsconfig.json tsconfig.json, and then it compiles all .ts files into .js files. Very good, very good. Next one, tslint.json. There is one file available which is tslint.json. So tslint.json is for TypeScript code review. We are going to write the TypeScript files, right? All the TypeScript files are following the proper TypeScript coding standards or not will be verified by tslint.json. This file contains configuration. This file contains configuration settings for lint tool, which is used to verify whether the whether the whether the TypeScript files are following following a set of coding standards or not. Following a set of coding standards or not. Lint nothing but code review. tslint.json file is used to verify TS files are following the coding standards or not. Right now, next one, karma.conf.js. Karma.conf.js. It is a unit testing file. Karma is used for unit testing, guys, right? This file contains the configuration settings for Karma tool. Karma tool is used to execute the unit test cases on multiple browsers. This file contains this file this file contains configuration settings for Karma tool, which is used to execute unit test cases on multiple browsers. Karma.conf.js. That file contains settings for Karma tool, which is used to execute unit test cases on multiple browsers. If you want to perform unit testing on your Angular application, and if you want to execute those unit test cases on multiple browsers, then Karma tool we are going to use. If you want to do any customization in the Karma tool, then we are going to use karma.conf.js file. Next one, angular.json, another important file, which is angular.json. This file contains the settings for Angular CLI software, right? Angular JSON. This file contains configuration settings for Angular CLI tool, which is used to develop the Angular applications. Angular CLI tool, which is used to create, compile, and run the applications, which is used for create, compile, which is used for create, compile, and run Angular applications. Okay, Angular CLI software. Angular CLI software will be available. That is used to create the Angular. We are executing ng app command, right? That is from CLI software. Ng serve command we are using. That is from CLI. So if you want to do any settings for Angular CLI, then angular.json file is available. Angular.json file contains the configuration settings for Angular CLI, which is used for creating, compiling, and running applications. Angular applications, right? It contains settings such as home page, startup file, and CSS file. It contains settings such as home page. What is the home page to open when you access Angular application URL? Localhost colon 4200. When you access that URL, which page should be loaded? What is the welcome page for your Angular application? That welcome page setting will be available in the angular.json. It contains settings such as home page, which is index.html, startup file, that is main.ts, then CSS file, that is styles.css, etc. Okay. Angular.json file contains the settings for Angular CLI tool, which is used for creating, compiling, and running Angular application. It contains the settings such as home page, startup page, and CSS file names. CSS file names. Got my point? Next one. Next one. We have one more file called src styles.css. Styles.css. If you want to, if you want to apply any styles throughout the application, cascading styles, CSS, if you want to apply, then you can write. This file is the this file contains CSS styles that are applicable for entire application. This file contains cascading styles, cascading styles which are applicable for entire application. Okay, next one. src slash index.html. That is the home page, welcome file. src slash index.html. src slash index.html. This file is the home page for the entire application. This file, this file is the home. This file is the home page for entire application. Entire application. Okay. This file is home page for entire application. Home page nothing but startup page. When you access Angular application, when you access Angular application, only this page will be loaded. Index.html page will be loaded. The content of the content of entire application, the content of entire application will be displayed in index.html file only. As we told, single page applications, there will be only one page in the web application. For every request, only content will be updated. What is that single page for the Angular application? Index.html. That is the startup page of the Angular application. We can call as home page of the Angular application. Whatever the request you send, the data will be updated in the index file only. That is index.html. That is index.html. Are you guys able to understand? Index.html, the entire application will be displayed in the index.html file only. That is the home file, home page or startup page of the application. Startup page of the application. Right, guys? Now we are going to read this folder structure once again. Understand carefully. How many home pages will be available in the Angular application? Please answer my questions. How many home pages will be available in the Angular application? Come on, I need your answers, guys. How many home pages will be available in the Angular application? Only one home page. What is that home page? Index.html. What is that home page? Index.html. Now, guys, let me show you those things in the project. I'm going to show you those things in the project now. All the files I have closed. Yeah. So if you see here, src folder is available. Inside the src, can you see index.html? Inside the src, can you see index.html? Right now, index.html, this is the one HTML file will be available for entire application. This is called start page in the Angular, or we can call home page in the Angular. Index.html, where it is available inside the src. That's why I'm writing src slash index.html. This file is home page for entire application. The content of entire application will be displayed in the index.html file only. Very good. Next one, styles.css. Styles.css. This is also available in the src folder, src slash styles.css. This file contains cascading styles which are applicable for entire application. If you want to apply some styles for your application, you can write those styles in the styles.css file that applicable for entire application. That applicable for entire application. Next one, here main.ts file is available. Main.ts file is available, which is used to bootstrap our Angular application. How Angular application is starting from the main.ts. It is going to bootstrap our Angular application. Main.ts file is available, which is used to bootstrap our application. Okay. Now, after that, here you can see one file called angular.json. Angular.json. What is this angular.json file? Angular.json file will tell you what is the index page, what is the home page, what is the home page of your application, what are the styles of your application, where the code is available. All the information will be available in the angular.json file. All the information will be available in the angular.json file. Styles, it is telling that styles.css file is available. Okay, how to build the Angular application, what are the settings that are required, what is the default configuration, every information related to our Angular application will be available in the angular.json. So this angular.json file contains the settings for Angular CLI software, which is used to compile, create and run the Angular application. Right now, what is the home page? Index.html. What is the output path? Dist folder is the output folder. Whenever you compile your, whenever you build your Angular application, Angular files will be generated in the distribution folder. What is the home page of the application? Index.html. What is the main file of the application? Main.ts. Okay, all the informations. What are the styles of the application? Styles.css. For compilation, for creation, for compilation, for running the Angular application, the information will be available in the angular.json. Okay, now what is the karma file? It is for unit testing. Karma Jasmine. The settings related to karma tool can be configured in the karma.conf.js file. Right, this is for executing unit test cases on the browsers. Okay, next up, tslint.json. tslint.json, that is used for configuring code review settings. Okay, tsconfig.json. tsconfig.json. What is the purpose of tsconfig? It is used to configure settings for Typescript compiler. So we are going to use a Typescript language to develop Angular applications, right? Those Typescript files should be converted to JavaScript. The Typescript settings, compiler settings can be configured in tsconfig.json file. tsconfig.json file. Good. Next one, package.json. The package.json file contains the dependencies which are required for our Angular application. Dev dependencies and dependencies. Dependencies are used for running the Angular application. Dev dependencies are used for developing the application. Dependencies are used for running the Angular application. These are the important folders and files that we need to know in the Angular application. In the Angular application. Are you guys clear with this? Could you please read it once? What is the purpose of package.json? Could you please read it? I want all of you please go through them. I want all of you please go through them. Good. Package.json, that is used to configure the dependencies. What are the several packages we are going to use in the Angular? Core package, common package, compiler package, platform browser dynamic, forms package, router package, HTTP package, material package, CLI package. Like that, several packages are available in the Angular. What is the TS config file? TypeScript compiler settings, TS lint code review settings, karma.js unit testing settings, Angular JSON home page, index page, startup file. All these things will be configured in the angular.json file. Styles. For entire application, the CSS settings we are going to write here. Index.html, that is the home page of the Angular application. That is the home page of the Angular application. Entire Angular application content will be loaded in the index.html file only. Are you guys clear with the folder structure of the Angular application? Are you guys clear with folder structure of the Angular application? The important files and folders. Good. Yeah. Next one, guys, we are entering into Angular applications development. We just understood the syntax for creating the Angular project and syntax for running the Angular project. And once the Angular project is created, what are the folders will be created, what are the files will be created, that we understood. From now onwards, we are jumping into Angular applications development. We are going to develop our front end applications by using Angular. Right now, see here, I'm going for terminal. I'm going for terminal. It is pointing to my workspace. Inside the workspace, we have two Angular applications. One is app1, another one is welcome. Let me go to app1 application, cd space app1. I navigated to the Angular application. Do you know how to run the Angular application? Guys, come on. Do you know how to run the Angular application? What is the command? Ng serve command. Ng serve command. Ng serve command is used to deploy Angular application to live development server, which runs on the port number 4200. Got it. Now see here how the Angular application is getting started. We need to know bootstrapping process of the Angular, from where Angular application is getting started, how home page is getting loaded in the browser, what is happening in the background, what is the bootstrapping mechanism of the Angular, we need to understand. Then you can create the Angular applications easily. I am executing Angular application in the live development server. For that, we have a command called ng serve command. Yeah, let's see here. Angular application is getting started. Ng serve command, which is used to start the Angular application. Ng serve command. Guys, today I'm going to prepare the videos for Spring Boot interview questions. I will upload to our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to that channel so that you will get the updates. Ashok IT YouTube channel. I will upload Spring Boot interview questions and answers to our channel by today. So please subscribe to that channel so that you will get the notification. Okay. Good. Yeah. So I was busy from last 1 month uh, due to personal occasions and health issues and all. Now we am back. From now onwards, full force will be there. You can see the complete support from my end. I will be there for you. Good. Spring classes going on Saturday and Sunday, sir. Spring classes are going on Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, right guys. Now see here, when I execute ng serve command, it is generating browser application bundles. Some settings are happening in the Angular to start our Angular application. Ng serve command, generating browser application bundles. So it is doing some bootstrapping to run our Angular application. Ng serve command. Here, Angular application contains n number of modules. Angular application contains n number of modules, right? Now, out of all this, one module is called as startup module. Startup module, that is called app module. App module will be available in the Angular application. If you see src, inside the src there is a app folder is available, app module is available. App module is the startup module of our Angular application. So whenever you execute ng serve command, app module is going to start. In the Angular application, we can have any number of modules, but application start will begin from this app module only. By default, startup module name is the app module. The process of loading this app module is called as bootstrapping the module. Is called as bootstrapping the module. Okay, if you go to main.ts file, what is happening here? Platform browser dynamic dot bootstrap module. Which module is the bootstrapping? App module, it is bootstrapping. So can I say that Angular application execution will start from app module? App module is called as a startup module. App module, it is going to start from app module, app module.ts. In the app module, it is using app component, and it is using browser module, and it is bootstrapping app component. It is bootstrapping app component, right? Startup module in Angular. So which is the startup module in the Angular? Startup module in Angular. Guys, could you please tell me what is the startup module in the Angular? What is the startup module in the Angular? Angular application can contain any number of modules. Angular application can contain any number of modules. The startup module is the one which needs to be executed first in the Angular application, right? Angular application execution will begin from app module. Will begin from app module. App module is called as startup module of the application. App module app module is called as startup module of Angular application. Angular application can contain any number of modules. Angular application execution will begin from app module. App module is called as startup module of Angular application. How Angular will understand app module is the startup module? Guys, if you see in the Angular application, there is one file called main.ts. There is one file called main.ts. What is there in the main.ts? Platform browser dynamic dot bootstrap module is called as app module. The process of executing startup module is called bootstrapping. The process of executing startup module is called as bootstrapping. Is called as bootstrapping. Angular application bootstrapping will begin from app module. You can see here syntax. Where you can find this code? You can find this code in the main.ts file. Platform browser dynamic dot bootstrap module is the app module. Angular application bootstrapping process will start from app module. Angular application bootstrapping will start from app module. From where it will start? App module. Angular application bootstrapping will start from app module. Got my point? How can you say that? If you see in the main.ts, platform browser dynamic dot bootstrap module is the app module. Bootstrap module is the app module. Right now, what is there in the app module? If you go to app module.ts, it is going to bootstrap app component. It is going to bootstrap app component. What is there in the app component? Some code is available. Selector is the app root. Tomorrow session, we are going to talk about what is a selector, how to use the selectors and all. For time being, let's understand. Angular application execution will begin from main.ts. Main.ts is going to bootstrap app module. From the app module, it is going to app.module.ts file. In the app.module.ts file, it is bootstrapping app component. So app component is going to execute first in the Angular application. App component is going to execute first in the Angular application. What is component? How component is going to execute? What is a selector in the component? That I'm going to discuss in the tomorrow session. For time being, remember that Angular application is going to start from app module. That is called bootstrapping module. So we understood what is the folder structure, how to create an Angular application, what is the folder structure of the Angular application, and how to run the Angular application. So in the tomorrow session, from where the Angular application is going to start, what is app module, what is app component, what is component selector, how the selector is going to execute, we will understand. Is this clear for everyone? Good. Thank you guys. With this, I'm stopping for today. Tomorrow we'll continue. Good. New batches updates I will provide, sir. When the new batches I'm going to start for Spring Boot. So very soon I'm going to start the new batches for Spring Boot and microservices, as well as for Java real-time project also. I will update about the new batch details by this weekend. Okay. Good. Rahul, Ajax, you need to know the Ajax, sir. Yes, Ajax you need to know, because whenever we are using HTTP client module in the Angular internally, they will use Ajax only. You need to have the knowledge on the Ajax. Otherwise, you can't understand how Angular and boot applications will be integrated. Good. Thank you, sir. Spring free batches conducting on Saturday and Sunday. Yes. AWS deployment, one weekend session I need to take. Most probably this weekend I will plan for AWS deployment also. This Sunday morning I will plan for that. Okay, good. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow.